Alexa, what's the weather?
Currently, in Cambridge it's 45 degrees with showers. Tonight, you can look for rainy weather, with a low of 43 degrees.
Hello and welcome to episode 11 of
Good news, everyone!
I hope you're all doing well and that you're having a good week so far and that it stays good. Today's Instagram account recommendation is Chicken San. This is a very, very silly one. But since I am here to amuse and, well, abuse, well, just take a look. Today's Twitter account recommendation is Wholesome Memes. They post funny, encouraging, and just sweet images several times a day, and it's I've found it makes me smile quite often, so that's a recommendation from me. Today's live cam is the Wolong Grove Panda Cam at the Shenshuping Gengda Panda Center in China's Wolong Valley. And while I managed to say that without tripping up, I'm not sure I pronounced any of it correctly. But yes, it's a live camera at a panda sanctuary, and who doesn't love pandas? Today's YouTube account is a. I am slightly biased about this one, but this is Jessica Kelgren Fozard. Jessica Kelgren Fozard. She is a lovely lady who lives with her wife in Brighton, and yes, she is gay as the day is long. But she dresses like a 50s housewife, and she does these wonderful makeup and hair tutorials, and she's always got cool dresses and stuff. But that's just one awesome aspect of her channel, because yes, she is extremely gay and does videos about that, but she is also a disabled YouTuber. She is deaf, partially sighted, and she has several other conditions that I actually can't remember. I believe it's Ehlers-Danlos? But basically she does very honest videos about that as well. And basically there's probably something for everyone on her channel, so very highly recommended. Also, she is extremely funny, her wife is adorable, and they have two very cute dogs. You can see why I like her. Today's book recommendation is Adrift by Rob Boffard. Basically it's set in space, so it's a sci-fi book. A tour group goes out on a shuttle to do a tour of the Horsehead Nebula. And it's supposed to be sort of the trip of a lifetime thing, it's a holiday, you know. However, then somebody blows up the space station that they came from. So now they're stranded. And basically they have, as the book description says, they have no weapons, no food, no water, no one back home knows they're alive, and a mysterious ship is hunting them. Now this is one I have read, and it's very good. I highly recommend it. As I do with most things on this channel, but give it a read if you like sci-fi, it's very good. Today's series recommendation is the Boulet brothers' Dragula. Now, you are undoubtedly familiar with RuPaul's Drag Race, as is everybody these days. Dragula is sort of the gothic older sister to Drag Race. It's sort of punk, gritty. It's very interesting, and it's very different from Drag Race. It's not as, I don't want to say polished, but it's good. It's good. It's very different. In today's uplifting news, a group of Canadian teens have set up a hotline for lonely seniors. And what they do is they leave a bunch of recorded messages of positivity, jokes, stories, guided meditations, and educational messages. And they encourage anyone to call it, but it's mainly for seniors. And they will be updating this until June, for the foreseeable future. And I just think it's really nice, because obviously there are people that aren't necessarily that tech savvy. You know, so they can't necessarily, you know, FaceTime or whatever. And then again, there are also, you know, people who just don't have big families to call. So I think it's a great idea. Today's stuff to do is journaling, or bullet journaling. So journaling, obviously, fairly self-explanatory. It would be interesting to have something to look back on when all of this is a distant memory. and remember what it was like. Bullet journaling is something else again. Obviously, you can have that aspect of recording your thoughts, etc. But it's also a way of staying organised. You can have a calendar, an agenda, or your schedule, things like that. A to-do list, a shopping list. It's a way of keeping track of your budget, your diet, your exercise, books you want to read, books you have read, movies you want to watch, things like that. Anything you can think of, really. If it sounds like something that would interest you, give it a Google, because there are tons of different things you can do. And depending on your level of artistic skill or interest, you can make it as colourful and interesting as you like. You can use stickers, colouring, washi tape, things like that. It's good. I have used it before, and I admittedly, I was mainly in it for the stickers, but it did help me keep very organised when I stuck to it. Today's stuff to do for kids is stop motion. Now, there are several apps that you can install on a smartphone that will help you with this, but stop motion obviously is basically, going back to Aardman again for some reason, that's stop motion animation with plasticine and things like that. Now, you don't necessarily have to have plasticine for this to work. You can do it with toys. So what you do is, basically, it's moving very slowly. You take a tiny adjustment with the action figure or whatever, take a picture, and just keep doing that. And then at the end you run them all together and you've made an animation. Now, as I said, there are apps that will help you with this, because it can be quite fiddly if you don't. And that's it for today's good news, everyone. Would you like to hear a dubstep joke? Okay, never mind, I'll just drop it. I will be back on Friday, and until then, I hope your week continues to be good, if it has been, and if it hasn't, I hope it gets better. Bye!